that no one in the family would wear. What do you do?
Well, okay, so when I was I can picture this, but my mom would make cake and we would put candles in it and sing happy birthday and it would be Jesus on Christmas Eve, which I love, and I think I'm gonna do with my son and future children if I'm blessed enough to have them. Because it does like inject the reason for the season and why we're celebrating Christmas. The big birthday celebration for Jesus.
If you make a cake for Jesus and brought one to the cake, which is a high likelihood.
Oh yeah, for sure. Dive into the cake. There he is, and I wish I had a matching outfit with him, but I was on a picture. He's big. See, there he is, and there was my husband. We're at the
My wife had something like the birthday cake for Jesus, and when she was little, when she was a toddler, she made a peanut baby Jesus, like a peanut shell that somehow has still survived. That is the first thing on her family's tree.
That is so cute.
It lives. And then on the juicy side, something that we are trying to start with my daughter as well, we all run down the stairs on Christmas morning. What it is.
As discord gave way to peace.
Remember, this predates having a phone. This has to be the handiwork of a father with television production experience. And I came to New Jersey. I was hoping to see my dad up there in his chair at work. But he's not somewhere, so we don't usually see him.
Hey, Dad!
So I'm in New York. I took the Steve Yeti. It was right there. It was clean. Was it clean?
Damn, that vanilla coffee's good.
Thank you. So,
Hi guys, welcome to Romancing SaGa 2 Revenge of the Seven. We're just watching the intro here.
Exactly right. We were going to surprise you. We didn't realize you were doing Fox and Friends, and then you wound up going to our house thinking you knock on the door. We were going to be there. We're here down the road from. I mean, I could say I'm in New Jersey, but I don't think anybody would buy it right now because you don't see any drones over it. No, I'm in the neighbor's house. I help them inside. So, I would say that the number one thing everywhere that I've gone for the last 20 years, 15 years on Fox, people say, I feel like I want you to grow up. I see you running down the stairs every single year. Where did you come up with the idea for that? Well, that picture right there, the first house is our house in Great Falls, Virginia, when we were all working in D.C. And about the time you came along here, I read in a magazine about how a father took a picture of his children every year at Christmas. But I was like, you know what? We've got video cameras, so I started standing at the bottom of the stairs, and then every year I would stand in the same spot. We would have the house in Virginia, and then that house right there in New Jersey. And every year you would get a little bigger, and there you are in college with really nice hair, and then Sally, and then last but not least, Mary, college. She was in Boston College at that point. Eventually, I wound up putting it all together, and there you are. The reason you're so excited is because you just saw the cast that you would have Santa at Tyson's Galleria. We met them, and in fact, your mother and I were down at the same Galleria with you and Hillary and Bridget, and you sat on the same Santa location.
Santa Nita the
T.O. So I put that together. We ran it on Fox and Friends about a couple of years, probably 13 years ago. And every time people say, you know what, Steve, I saw that thing you did with your kids, and we do it at Fox. In fact, we all know Gavin Patton used to be one of the top producers on Fox and Friends. He does that with his people. And there are people all across America who on Christmas morning are going to be standing at the bottom of their stairs, and rather than a video camera, they've got their phone. And 20 years from now, they'll put together a little montage and be like, oh, you guys do it so fast. And we have started that with Bridget and soon with her little brother.
This is, by the way, made from the creators of the Trials of Mana 2020 remake. That's another classic too. If you want a nice in your collection, nice one for your collection, then go for it.
Well, Steve, it's great to have you here, and I'm going to be asking Peter a little later if you ever came down the stairs.
It's not that expensive either.
Because he was in a hurry to see Santa. Listen, great question. Great question. I'd be downstairs, and I would hear, hey, can we come down?
Hey, Mr. Minstrel,
Six
will you
was
please
here.
tell me one of your stories?
Thanks for joining us, Steve. Thanks, man.
Great to meet you. Merry Christmas to you and the whole family.
Thank you. We got to leave it there. But coming up, New York
I
Congressman
shall
Mike
tell you
Waller.
a tale
That's
of a war
next.
fought many, many years ago. A tale of Avalon and the Roman Empire, and a succession of emperors that leapt into prosperity. Spirits, lend me your voices, that this tale might inspire all to greater heights. The stage is set during the time of good Emperor Eiyuden. In those days of eld, Avalon was a nation of little note. Conflict had spread throughout the land like fire through a dense bush. Leon knew that quenching its flames was key to unifying the people under one banner. Under his rule, he cared for two sons, the courageous Victor and the kind-hearted Gerard. One fine spring day, Emperor Leon took Gerard out on a herd to kill the thieves
While
lurking
being
in the
affected
forest.
by aggro, but faster, meet rose sparks. They contain sildenafil and tadalafil. Sparks dissolve
This pain has caused our people to suffer for far too long.
Oh,
We must eradicate the
like me too.
forces within and seal it off.
Tommy Copper's shoulder support rod will be your new favorite.
We had to reconvene with the Vanguard unit. On the way,
Available
I
in
should
two
teach you the
styles,
basics
you're
of
gonna wear
combat.
every day.
However,
Day
this is no
Comfort.
training exercise. You must be
The
prepared
broad
both
you're
mentally
waiting
and
for. It's
physically.
my secret.
I shall do my best to see that I am.
Tommy Copper will have you feeling confident and comfortable all day. Why would I wear everything? Go to TommyCopper.com for big savings. Upgrade your bra today.
My name is Jim Guthrie, I'm 82 years old. I like to be doing things. I've been taking balance of nature, pretty solid. They're pretty fun.
Father, we have been beset upon.
Get 35% off your first preferred set with free shipping and our money-back guarantee as a new preferred customer when using discount code FOX2. From beautiful St. Patrick's Cathedral with his ominous cosmos, with his Christmas message and a message of hope and faith going into the new year and summer future. Join us this festive season for some holiday programming only
I
on
must follow my father's example.
We're live on location covering local Santa Claus parades and ready to take your call to chocolate Xcom. Celebrate the holiday season with local entertainment programs.
Should I do in this situation?
Your TV network local exclusively on Twitch.
I did it! I can still do that.
Well, what the question?
What driving my combo next thing?
No. Can I go? Drive?
The crew.
Smoking
Perhaps you should rest. It might have been easy.
a message from Matt Canada.
No, we have not a moment to waste.
There are many dangerous spells lurking within these walls.
No need for concern. The lad must learn to fend for himself alone. I am more than aware of perils before us. We will engage the enemy with the Imperial Clockwork. I shall take up position in the center, while Bear will protect us from the front. James and Therese shall
Fox News
occupy
alert:
the
the
front.
government funding bill on its way to President Biden's desk after the
The
Senate
safest
passes the
position
measure
someone
just
is
minutes
in.
past the deadline. The
Focus on
stopgap
offense.
measure still a sticking point with many Republicans, as dozens of GOP lawmakers voted no, despite multiple revisions. But our next guest voted in favor of the bill. Republican Congressman Mike Lawler, Congressman, thank you for being here. Thanks for having me, Peter. So, last night, Republicans, with the help of Democrats, passed this bill that did not include Donald Trump's #1 ask, which was getting rid of, or at least extending, the debt ceiling. Is that something that's going to happen soon? Well, it's going to happen. The debt ceiling limit is reached next year, likely by about June. But look, we're still in a dividing government. I think people fail to recognize that, even though the focus has been on President Trump. Joe Biden is actually still the president, which is really mind-boggling because nobody's heard from him in weeks. And in fact, during this entire negotiation, he was nowhere to be found. Look, I believe, like President Trump, that the debt ceiling does need to be lifted. This is not about future debt. This is about previous debts incurred. And we have to pay those debts. And every time you start paying the debt, you run up against the limit. So the debt limit, while I understand its purpose, the reality is we're one of the only countries in the world that actually has it. It's been used as a political commodity for decades now. The party in the minority uses it as leverage in a negotiation. And I think what President Trump is trying to avoid is giving Democrats a loaded gun to hold to his head here. We have a situation next year. Republicans will be in complete control of Washington. And we have a lot of work to do, especially through reconciliation. We have to get our appropriations work done. And I think the president was trying to avoid Democrats being able to use that as a weapon. Interestingly enough, Elizabeth Warren agrees with him. She thinks the debt ceiling should be eliminated altogether. So, look, this is something we're going to have to deal with in the new year. I agree with my 34 or so colleagues that voted against the bill insofar as we have to reduce our debt. We're at $36 trillion. We have to bring down federal spending. But we're going to be best positioned to do that in the new year with Republican control of Washington, not right now in a divided government. And a question about next year, Congressman. To get this funding bill through and to avoid the government shutdown, Speaker Johnson needed a lot of Democratic help. When Kevin McCarthy did that, he got canned. So, in less than 2 weeks at the Speaker vote, is Johnson toast? Well, I reiterate, removing Kevin McCarthy was the single stupidest thing I've ever seen in politics. And, really undermined our ability as a majority for the entirety of the 118th Congress. Removing Mike Johnson would equally be a stupid. And so you're going to have to be a Mike Johnson in 2 weeks on the first ballot. Absolutely. Look, President Trump needs to have his election certified on January 6th. If you don't have a speaker, you can't certify the election. So to throw, a grenade into the speaker vote would disrupt the ability to certify the election and, frankly, get President Trump sworn in on January 20th. They don't have the time nor the margin to do that. So we need to work together as a team. I get people's frustration, but let's focus on the work of the American people, put the petty grievances aside. And to your point, no speaker can't certify the election in that case. I saw somewhere, if that happens, then the president on Inauguration Day would be Chuck Grassley. Thank you, Congressman Mike Lawler. Thank you. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas. Coming up, Trent Day, a WOTC member busted this time, hiding out next to a New York City daycare, a former ICE official, on the crisis the media tried to ignore.
Excellent.
Those knows that holiday list is stretched further than your budget. With my low
There would be an hour of the day that I I chose Interpol because it was 100% drug-free and quickly tested. I experienced things volume. Interpol is like children.
Get going at Nutripol.com.
Kiki! Now, let us away. The people anticipate your return.
Let's go. Thank you. How we doing? Kiki? I gotta go back to jail.
Fucking love birds. I wish I was a bird sometimes just so I could fly like that, you know what I mean? It's fucking cool, man.
Fruits and vegetables. Before you take another bite, you need Eat Cleaner, the natural fruit and veggie wash that is going to change the way you think about fresh produce forever. Just spray and rinse. It's as easy as that. Our patented natural black formula not only removes wax, pesticides, and chemicals, but up to 99.9% of the bacteria that can cause foodborne illnesses. And check this out. Here's a delicious cooking apple, right? Here's another apple from the same place. The difference is we boiled it for a few seconds to show you all the wax that you can't see. That's why it's locking in the
I vow to protect the people of Varen with my very life.
Look at this broccoli. Straight from the store. The water just beads right over. With just a few sprays of Eat Cleaner, it's blasted to get rid of the wax, the chemicals, the dirt, and look at how the water goes right through it now.
I am pleased you have returned safely.
But it can last up to 5 times longer because it's clean. Just
I trust
spray
your
and
judgment.
rinse. Eat Cleaner leaves no evidence. It unlocks of your
No longer a
vegetables. Did you know
Gerard is much better
if
suited for
this life,
studies
all
than
you
setting
foods
foot
start
on
out
the
with
battlefield.
produce that's pesticides,
Refrain from taking him
chemicals,
August, I feel
food waste.
your position.
You need Eat Cleaner. Go online now. Get not one, but 2 bottles of Eat Cleaner to have cleaner, healthier fruits and vegetables that last a good 5 times longer for just $24.99. It's guarantee. It's the best tasting offer on TV. We'll give you a 3rd bottle free. That's 3 bottles for $1. Call or visit geteatcleaner.com.
Strategist if it is to truly thrive. I can think of none more suited to that task than he.
For driving a car, you have to
My
check
lord, a woman by the name of Oriab requests an audience with
With Cardio Mobile, you can take a medical grade EKG in just 30 seconds from anywhere. Cardio Mobile is proven to detect atrial fibrillation, one of the leading causes of stroke. Get Cardio Mobile today for $69, our lowest price now, and check out our holiday offers for good order upgrades at cardio.com or Amazon.
Tempur-Pedic designed the Google for smart face to help you fall asleep more easily. Its gentle massage and relaxing sounds calm your mind every night. Save up to $500 now on select adjustable mattress sets.
Victor,
Christmas is here and America just received its best hits. Now, this time too, the kids got to Christmas gift bundle, including free
there's
presidential
that woman's lucky day.
ribbons.
It is obvious that father was looking for an excuse that he could use to cut our conversation short. Remember that reading up on combat theory is no substitute for actual experience.
Okay, I want a 1 month subscription to PlayStation Plus.
We're back to the Fox News.
How much is that? $25 or the $25 card, and then you use it for the PlayStation Plus. I think that's how it's done.
Into a crowd hurting more than 200 others. What they are calling a deliberate attack. Stephanie Bennett is joining us now from London.
Let's just save it here.
Hey, Peter, yeah, those numbers are likely to increase.
Can't delete the saves for fuck's sakes. They're everywhere.
Holding a press conference later on today in about an hour and a half, so we will be watching that very closely. But as you mentioned, authorities say that last check, at least 5 people have been killed, 200 others injured, 41 of which serious injuries. The city's mayor says they will be holding a memorial service at the cathedral later today. That will be getting underway around 1 o'clock Eastern time. Now, also, a suspect is in custody. The currently questioned, a lot of questions. And at this point, the attack happened around 100 miles west of Berlin. In Vancouver, just 5 days before Christmas. The market
will surely lead to greater results. Use weapons you're comfortable with to get a glimmer of inspiration to learn new techniques.
Very true.
Visitors
Perhaps I
might
should
help
simply
these
forego both
victims.
altogether.
As a precaution, although Christmas markets in Germany shut down last night, and many
noble
around the
blood courses through your
world
veins
also
as
upped
well.
security, including over there in reform. Over the years, markets have added things like 24/7 security, steel concrete safety barriers, and precautions. Local reports say the market magnified will not reopen this year.
We'll just save it here for fuck's sakes.
Chancellor Olaf Scholz visited the
Let's
site
see.
and said a little while ago, today will be a day of grieving and mourning. And quotes, what a terrible act it is to injure and kill so many people there with such brutality. A 50-year-old Saudi Arabian doctor who first came into Libya in 2006, he's in custody. Authorities not yet released his motive, but they say he was acting alone. Today they will be focusing on the suspect's background, checking things like his internet history and also his cell phone. Of course, this one was almost 8 years to the day when 12 people were killed dead after a truck ran through a Christmas market there, injuring at least 50 others. So-called Islamic State said one of its soldiers carried out that attack. Again, German police are expected to give an update within the next 2 hours, hour and a half, so we hope we'll get more information then. How's that?
Such a tragic story. We'll continue to follow with those updates. Stephanie Bennett, John Forrest, and London. Stephanie, thank you very much. Meanwhile, Aurora, Colorado police charging 11 suspected TVA gang members in a violent home invasion critic according to past media. Should they allow in Colorado as a hoax? But these violent catching 22 suspected control there to New York City, but I want to retired in 2020. And what really is shocking to me, John, is that just a few years ago, the otherwise, the headquarters Trump
Focus on becoming a veritable Iron Man. By standing my ground and never retreat, I can protect everyone else from danger. There is a role. You have to put in the work.
We really started to get noticed in 2022 and I knew that they were here in Denver at that time. And even when we released this video that we're looking at right now, the media is still trying to suppress us. They tried to sweep it under the rug. I mean, you know, Christmas time, we got a bunch of Grinches in the media over here that are trying to hide things. And all it's done is turn that rug out to allow the kids running. We've got them in over 17 states.
Well, we're certainly not hiding it here, and having people like you that understand this to warn the country is an important thing. I want to just sort of connect some dots here now. Another sort of angle, and that is the New York Times reporting today that the Biden administration, on the way out the door, is putting up roadblocks to Trump's deportation campaign by extending temporary protective status, TPS, for countries like Venezuela. How do you see that?
You can hardly be
You know,
considered one
Trump's
for
his target. He's not a target. And that's
I appreciate what you're saying. However, I must do what I can to carry on my family's legacy.
In that case, you could try honing your skills with different weapons for the other
says that they have another 6
An
months,
untrained hand cannot hope to bring the full might of their armaments to bear. A practice gun, however, will undoubtedly make you a force to be reckoned with.
Thank you. I shall do my best.
They want to do something with TPS right away. They
Feel free
can.
to ask me.
You know, business as
I shall
usual.
assist you in
Well, we're
whatever
certainly
manner
going to see
you
a
require.
change from the past 4 years when the incoming administration takes over with people like Tom and John. Kind of story. Thank you very much for taking time. And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Rick. I appreciate it.
All right. And Australia passing a first ever social media ban for kids under 16 last month. Now, the majority of Americans say they want the same. An expert and the right call for kids.
Car shopping. 2 girls, 2 dogs. Who sold? I got backs. Like nearly half of all those cars. This puppy has been in an accident. Carfax.com shows how an accident
It's just okay. Isn't okay.
And I was done settling.
If you still have symptoms and you're trying to get TNF blocker like Chimera
We
or
cannot
Andro,
count on us always happening though.
ReMake is a once-daily pill that can rapidly relieve joint pain, stiffness, and swelling as fast as 2 weeks for some. And even
If
for
ever
3
your
years,
retinue
many
were to
people
fall in
felt this
battle,
relief.
you
ReMake
must
can
have a
stop
means
joint
of
damage,
protecting
and it
yourself.
feels safe and leaves skin clear or
If it
almost
comes to
clear.
that point, I'm afraid we may have already lost. But I can never hope to match your prowess.
Serious infections, blood clots, something. Cancers including lymphoma and skin, serious allergic reactions, GI tears, heart attack, and stroke occurred. CV fibrosis,
Bookies. Just can't leave me alone, can you?
Tell your doctor if you've had
That's your fucking problem.
I shall do my best to not hamstring your troops.
Don't take it from your
I
doctor.
believe that everyone has their rightful place. And yours would be in the library, not on the
You know,
battlefield. With all due respect, Lord Gerard, you need to hear this. We mercenaries will fight tooth and nail for whoever we are contracted with. We will not sign a contract with simply anyone. We only work with people whose orders are backed by strength. Should our patron prove to be nothing more than a paper tiger, we will not hesitate to serve someone else. Okay, I shall keep that in mind.
Have you also checked with your weight? Same.
Discover the power. What we go eat, I lost 35 pounds. And so, lost over 46 pounds.
I'm keeping the weight off.
I'm reducing my risk. Wegovy is the only management base proven to reduce risk of major cardiovascular events such as death, heart attack, or stroke in adults with heart disease and liver disease. Don't use Wegovy with semaglutide or GLP-1 medicines or in children under 12. Don't take it either with family hepatitis C, MEN2, or if allergic to it. Tell your provider. Plan to have surgery or procedure, are breastfeeding, or pregnant or planning. Stop taking it. Get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your
Nothing in here.
stomach pain or any of these allergic reactions.
Been through there already.
Serious side effects may include pancreas,
Previous
inflammation, or
playthrough.
gallbladder problems. Call your prescriber if you have any of these symptoms. Wegovy may cause low blood sugar and even with diabetes, especially if you take medicines to treat diabetes. Call your prescriber about vision changes if you feel your heart racing while at rest or if you have mental changes. Depression, thoughts of suicide may occur. Common side effects include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, stomach pain, flu or upset, headaches, feeling tired, dizzy or bloated, gas, and
Oh, this guy.
some side effects lead to dehydration, which may cause disease.
With Wegovy,
I'm losing weight.
keeping it off.
We need to watch. Get the latest news, business and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
A new poll shows nearly 60% of U.S. voters want a social media ban for children in the country, modeled after Australia's first of its kind law passed last month. Our next guest has been studying the effects of social media on children for years. Social psychologist, NYU professor, and author of The Anxious Generation, Jonathan Haidt, joins me now. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us. So 60% of people say they do support a ban on social media for children. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's fantastic, and it's actually kind of obvious. You know, in the real world, we don't let kids do everything that adults can do, especially if it's exposing them to graphic sexuality, graphic violence, addiction, or physical or mental harm. We have age limits. Except if it's on social media, when you let your kid open an account on Snapchat or Instagram or TikTok, they're going to be exposed to incredibly graphic sex, violence. They're going to become addicted 10% of them. And they're going to be exposed to things that are physically dangerous for them, TikTok challenges, things like that. So I'm thrilled. It's about time for you to get an age limit in the U.S. too.
So the CDC recently came out with a study, and it found that 15% of children ages 12 to 17 have anxiety, 9% have depression, and 7.8% have behavioral disorders. I mean, these are kids 12, 13, 14. This should be the most carefree time of their lives. Do you think that these numbers are a result of the increase in social media use among children?
Yes, actually, many studies show that the rates are much, much higher than that, close to 30 or 40% for girls especially. And there is good evidence that social media is a major cause. We can't say it's the only cause. But the fact that the kids themselves say it, the kids point to social media as a cause. The parents point to social media as a cause. The memos from inside the companies, we now have a lot of things to lawsuits. We now have a lot of memos. But inside these companies, they know they are trying to addict kids. They know that they are harming kids. Snapchat did 10,000 reports of extortion. Not a year, a month, every month. So kids are being harmed at an industrial scale. And we do know that when you go off of social media for a couple of weeks, your rate of depression and anxiety goes down. So yes, there is good evidence that social media is a
Yeah, and especially among young girls. I mean, there's so much comparison out there, looking at images and then looking at yourself and just feeling bad about yourself when they're little and beautiful and they're just getting these images that, you know, completely put their minds in a place where it shouldn't be. So I mentioned that Australia passed this social media ban, and there are 6 states in the country, and it goes both ways. And when it comes to Republican-controlled states and Democrat-controlled states, we look at California, that are interested in cracking down on social media in certain ways. Do you think that that's the solution? The federal government or the state government stepping in and putting bans in place, or should this be something that happens at home? What do you think about that?
Well, of course, in America, we generally think that the parents should be the principal deciders of this. But here's the thing. We're all trying. We are trying. But we can't keep our kids off unless you can keep a kid away from the internet. It's the way it's set up now. If your kid can get to a web browser, they can sign a contract with any of these companies, open an account, you'll never know. The company will take their data, expose them to harmful things, and they don't get information. So Florida and many other states, and you're right, it's completely bipartisan because Republicans and Democrats, we don't have kids. So it's completely bipartisan. For the most part, I want parents to be able to decide what they do, but we need help. Just like we can't be the ones who keep our kids out of liquor stores. We have to have the company tracking agents. So yes, we need it. Parents want it. Australia's showing it can be done. There's really no reason not to do this.
You're right. Politics is second when it comes to things like this. Parents are parents first, and we all love our children and need to protect them. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us. Very important topic. We appreciate you and your work.
My pleasure.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
All right, hundreds of flights canceled as winter storms rip across the U.S. A travel expert on how you can still make it home for the holidays. That's coming up next.
You think America first when you spend your hard-earned money? You feel guilty shopping your companies to take your money and push a liberal agenda? The choice is yours. You shop at Infiltration, you're a part of the solution, not the problem. We have thousands of products from hundreds of American and veteran-owned retailers. These patriots love America and they're fighting for you. So do the right thing, vote for Covert, spend wisely. Right now, go to manfiltration.com and use this promo code and save 30%. We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's what Fisher Restaurants do. Start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio. And what about we don't sell it. We're a fiduciary, obligated back to your business. We have a transparent fee structure, so we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Consumer cellular is lowering the price for those 50 and up. Get 2 unlimited lines for $30 each. That's just $60 a month.
So see you
So the
again
carrier
soon.
ranks #1 in network coverage satisfaction. And new customers get your second month free when you switch. I had 8 UTIs in 1 year. This inspired me and my second sponsor, Electric Car. Car makes effective and carrying out Colorado. It truly works miracles. The peace of mind I feel. Go to ucorn.com.
Lowe's knows the perfect gifts don't have to stretch your budget. That's why we offer a free select tool when you buy select tools and batteries from our top brands. So perfecting the holidays. Oh, you're good. It's easier than ever. Lowe's knows how to help you holiday.
Tommy Copper's got your back with back support built right into your shirt. Because when your back feels better, you can be your best. Get the tank top with back support at TommyCopper.com today.
When you can't watch, you listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
I find it challenging to play. The moment is dead. The throw-off is vacant. want to choose the most famous man in the world. You seem like one of the papers. If that were dangerous, otherwise would do more take.
Drafted thriller. And hands down, the best picture of the year.
You should be careful, Thomas.
Play. Watch at home now. For Monday.
They don't know we're here.
I'll handle this. Not today. Okay.
I never let my prey escape. We've won the battle, not the war.
Also being pregnant and third habit forward. But it was wonderful to connect into and access the services we need and access the
Father, look at the set upon.
Winter storms with rain and snow threatening holiday travel plans for millions across the nation.
And experts are warning this is only the start of a record-setting travel season.
Here are some tips and tricks on how to handle this is travel expert and former flight attendant Bobby Murray. Bobby, before you thank you so much for doing that. So we're already seeing travel cancellations and travel delays today. So we're so looking forward to hearing what you have to say. You say that people should get in touch with customer service, but not on the phone. You say go to the social media apps. Tell us about that.
We have the advantage.
Yep, that's right. You know, yesterday alone we saw just about 10,000 flight delays and 600 cancellations, and today we're already looking at some delays and cancellations as well. And just like you mentioned, everyone's going to be picking up the phone trying to get in touch with the airline when they encounter a situation, but almost every airline will use social media now to connect with customers. So if you are on Twitter or on X, if you're on X or you're on Facebook, send a message to the airline there, and you'll be able to communicate with them faster. And also just the airline app, they use those to help you handle rebookings and disconnections.
Hey, Bobby, whenever I'm traveling, probably either to, a lot of times I'll try if I can to not check a bag, because obviously the later flights get canceled, and sometimes we're tough with luggage. Give us some advice for folks who may encounter that.
Yeah, so, consider using an AirTag or one of those find me devices that connect with your phone. So this way you know where your baggage is. Now, if the airline does lose your bag, you do file a claim with the airline, and they do use their computer systems to try to track down your bag. But some airlines are now incorporating the AirTag with the find me devices into their luggage system. So you can share the location of the bag with the airline and tell them exactly where it is. And also, something you should keep in mind is if you lose your bag, or I'm sorry, it's delayed, they never lose it, but it's delayed. If your baggage is delayed longer than 12 hours, you are entitled to be reimbursed by the airline for what you purchased if you do need anything while you're waiting for your baggage.
Go on a spending spree.
Right, and we know that on a day like today, when people are trying to get out of town to wherever they're going to be for Christmas, there are long lines at the TSA. You cannot avoid it, even if you have screenshot. But they have a new app.
That's true. So the TSA does have an app that you can use now that tracks wait times at airports across the country. So they always tell you to get to the airport 2 to 3 hours early. But you can check the TSA app and see just how long the wait time is to get through security and TSA. So this way you can plan accordingly. Take that into account with the weather and the local traffic where you are and getting to the airport. And this way you can make sure you make it to the airport on time for your flight. And you won't find yourself in a situation where you need to use social media. Yeah, I need that because you're very disconnected.
And Bobby, really quickly before we let you go, do you clear TSA pre-check better?
Oh, I use the gold check, yeah. So if you clear to get to the front of the line, and they put you to the front of the pre-check line.
Love that. Bobby, Laura, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure a lot of people out there are paying extra close attention to this segment. We appreciate you.
Anytime.
America.
And thank you to our partner, Bass Pro Shops, for Stout and Boxing for for the entire month of December. Where is the caribou? Email us at friends@fox.com. Give us a name. We're trying to pick one.
I'm ready. Bullseye.
Let us press on.
This holiday season, Fox and Friends Studio is presented by Bass Pro Shops.
I have the advantage here. I see. So long.
Magic of the season on Santa's Wonderland. Tomorrow is Santa, a holiday tradition since Red Network. Bass Pro Shops and Covert. People raised and declare that we will reply. We're here to reply.
We've checked off our to-do list.
Now we're checking on Mark and Diamonds.
We've been lazy or taking back.
I'm lazy
We
boyfriend.
have no recourse but to fight.
Long live the lazy.
You know what's the gift idea? Get the WOTC gift card. Our laser measured floor liners, cargo liner, and feeding system for the Google Bag Protector. Get your gift card instantly at WOTC.com.
Dry eyes still feel gritty, rough, or tired? With MIMO, eyes can feel. MIMO is the only prescription dry eye drop that forms a protective layer for the #1 cause of dry eye. Too much tear evaporation will relieve them.
Shit.
Eye redness or vision Ask your eye doctor about prescription MIMO.
Want the effects of Viagra, but faster? Eat Rose Buds. They contain sildenafil and calcium, the active ingredients of Viagra and Cialis. But Spuds dissolve under the tongue. Dissolve enough to work faster than menstrual pills. Plus, sildenafil, the active ingredient in Cialis, stays in your system for long-lasting results. Faster acting and long-lasting? We got it. See if Spuds are right for you. Spuds.
I'm ready to nervous. Can you tell me when it happened?
Well, then I could avoid fighting altogether.
Did he just leave?
Come on, bring it back. If he's not this good, he's got my attention.
I must follow my father's example.
Now,
From creating memories to finding the perfect gift, let us make it season a little easier. Right now, save up to $60 on select.
I never let my prey escape.
I told you I don't need these anymore. I have Sling. This critical time calls for the critical news coverage that Sling provides.
The most important news at the best price. Sling. Just because it's wet outside, you don't need to wear boots. Presenting Skechers waterproof sneakers with rugged 100% waterproof construction and a comfy, breathable, lightweight, easy-to-wear sneaker. Ditch the boots and experience comfy, capable Skechers waterproof sneakers.
Really feels like they're quiet for the storm right now.
I'm gonna go see if I can get a little bit.
It's the 9 a.m. hour of Fox and Friends Weekend, starting with this. Lawmakers passed a funding bill just minutes after the shutdown deadline. Now the bill is headed to President Biden's desk.
Plus, the majority of Americans now say they support a social media ban for kids under 16 years old. We reveal the state's already taking action to protect your children.
Counting down to Christmas and are putting on gingerbread house decorating skills to the test. The final hour of Fox and Friends Weekend starts right now.
We have the advantage here.
It's 3 seconds. I got one, even though this is my first time on the couch in
It's my
8
turn.
years.
That's right. You have a second, Peter. You do it well. Mine's still the same lineup that we're sitting on the couch.
Skills, performance, but that's why
Our couch should be better than that.
And the fireplace was really roaring there. That's why it's hot in the studio. I thought it was because of probably space
I
heater.
know. The space heater, this is the Ainsley and presumably Brian complaint. And I just don't know. I have to ask Ainsley how she does it because I'm either freezing with it off or burning my skin off on my leg with it on. Or burning your leg too.
we're turning it to me.
Are you hot too?
My heater was on the face, but we do begin with a Fox News alert now. The Senate is House passed a bill to stop the government shutdown, sending it to President Biden's desk after missing the deadline at midnight by 37 minutes.
The measure extends government funding into March and includes roughly $100 billion in disaster aid and relief for farms.
The newly passed 118-page bill does not include many policies that were in the original 1,500-page proposal, including health care provisions, restricting investments in China, pay raises for lawmakers, and suspending the debt ceiling.
Trump is reportedly not happy about the bill, especially the fact that the spending deal does not include that suspending the debt ceiling that you mentioned. Carly, now Speaker of the House Mike Johnson says he spoke with the president-elect.
I was in constant contact with President Trump throughout this process. He knew exactly what we were doing and why, and this is a good outcome for the country.
President Biden has signaled that he will sign the CR bill into law. He hasn't done it just yet, and that was one of the interesting things that I was following yesterday when it passed the House. About 5:30 p.m. East Coast time, and then of course it's going to take a while in the Senate. They got to wrangle it for a couple hours. And it's that midnight deadline, so I said, man, President Biden's going to have a late night because you would think that he would stay up, watch what's going on in the Senate floor, get the pen out, and then sign it the second it passes and it gets sent to him. That didn't happen.
This is somebody we still have not ever confirmed that he was briefed overnight during the October 7th terror attack. We know he found out about it in the morning, but things were happening overnight, and it was just quiet and quiet and quiet, and so not really a surprise that.
We gotta wait till the end.
And there are so few things that the president himself has to actually do. As we learned yesterday in the Wall Street Journal, there are like 50 people as part of some huge government conspiracy to conceal the president's diminished faculties. But like the only thing that he still has to do is sign bills.
And we learned from that is that there's, quote, good days and bad days, so the number of people shielding him may increase on any given bad day as opposed to a good day.
And Donald Trump, we've got it on the big board here, Donald Trump apparently does not think that this spending bill was the good day because it does not extend the debt limit. It sounds like there's an appetite for that to happen when he gets into office. But regardless of what wound up in or out, we have seen something extraordinary. And it is not just your run-of-the-mill funding spike over Christmas. We are seeing an incoming president negotiating spending bills and then making the current president sign it, which we think he is going to do.
I know, and he's being before leaders, and he's, talking to both sides of the aisle, trying to make things work, already saying what day one priorities are going to be. This was a pretty long story. We thought that the original bill that Mike Johnson had negotiated with Republicans and Democrats would pass, but then Elon Musk stepped in and said it's too big, it's basically an omnibus, you got to cut it down, which is ultimately what happened. Congressman Mike Lawler out of New York was on the show earlier this morning, and he talked about why it took so long to get this bill through.
We're still in a divided government. I think people fail to recognize that, even though the focus has been on President Trump. Joe Biden is actually still the president, which is really mind-boggling because nobody's heard from him in weeks. And in fact, during this entire negotiation, he
he was nowhere to be found. We have a situation next year where Republicans will be in complete control of Washington. And we have a lot of work to do, especially through reconciliation. We have to get our appropriations work done. But we need to work together as a team. I get people's frustration. But let's focus on the work of the American people and put the petty grievances aside.
Speaking of petty grievances, Mike Johnson did the thing that caused Kevin McCarthy his job. He avoided a government shutdown. That's great. He needed a ton of Democratic votes to do it. When Kevin McCarthy did that, he got canned. And so we're less than 2 weeks away from the speaker vote, January 3rd. Could.
What's going to happen?
I don't know. We haven't heard anybody say who could do an alternative speaker would be.
Right?
Dick Cheney.
Well, he doesn't, yeah, that's right. You don't have to be from Congress.
I said you're going to be on Billboard Get put on the scales with President Trump, who will be instrumental. And that he won't have been sworn in yet, but obviously his influence will count.
Yeah.
I bet you nickel that Donald Trump will have an opinion about who the Republican speaker.
You're right in that figure.
Come on social media.
Yeah. That's true, yeah. So far, he has signaled that he still wants Mike Johnson to have the job. But you do mention social media, and there's a new study that reveals, and this is something that is bipartisan. I mean, it's parents across the country are worried about social media. And this particular Quinnipiac study reveals that 6 in 10 Americans want a social media ban for children between the ages of 14 and 17 years old. And it's because we have seen the effects of what social media does to young people. The CDC also came out with a report that said 15% of people between 12 and 17 suffer from anxiety, depression at 9%, and behavioral disorders at 7.5%. And there are also studies that show those numbers much higher.
As someone who has children in their teens and 20s, they really lived through this experience, and you guys have young children, it's hard to overstate just how important addressing this issue is. We had Jonathan Hay, a social psychologist, on earlier talking about the dangers of social media. Here's some of what he said.
In the real world, we don't let kids do everything that adults can do, especially if it's exposing them to rapid sexuality, rapid violence, and addiction, or physical or mental harm. We have age limits. And exactly it's on social media. When you let your kid open an account on Snapchat or Instagram, TikTok, they're going to expose the fact that the kids themselves say it. Parents are social media as a cause. The memos from inside the companies, we now have a lot of thanks to lawsuits, we now have a lot of memos from inside these companies. They are trying to addict kids. They know that they are harming kids. Carly, if your son and my daughter were one day apart, social media is a long way away from them, but looking down the pipe, basically, I would be fine with limits like what they're talking about. You have to make sure that you can protect free speech for others, but somehow, I grew up with a Polaroid camera and a walkie-talkie. Didn't need a smartphone. I turned out okay.
You turned out more than okay.
And the people that don't think so are telling me on social media. Actually, they think so again. Up to 30
Talk about, you train your child to being able to go and see their friends and they'll be left out. And that's fine. That's something to consider. But when I interviewed the DEA, the head of the DEA, earlier, she talked about the opioid crisis and the fentanyl crisis in the country. She said, social media, by having rolling teenagers out there, they're existing for potential clients for the drug dealers that don't care. They're trying to get them in. And many of these teens don't even know that they're being attracted. And so the dangers are far, far essential for a kid to walk down a dangerous street in a major city by themselves. And they're going to get worse out of social media.
And Rosa, I know that there are people
Excellent. Rabbit's foot.
who say, well, Australia did that government overreach, and I totally respect that. And what states are doing, it should happen at the home, and all of that is valid. But I think that other people are also realizing that, as Jonathan said, that this is, it's addictive. It's almost like a drug, and you don't treat alcohol the same way with all ages. There are restrictions on that. So Could you treat social media and cell phones and all of that in the same powerful way as other addictive substances? I think certainly up for debate is fascinating.
Yeah, and we'll see. There's going to be pressure during the Trump administration to do something about this because it's more and more kids are going to get on media
about the future of TikTok.
Yeah.
That's it. The Supreme Court will take up that argument, and obviously the president-elect's waiting to that as well.
You want to talk about addictive? TikTok doesn't even have a clock at the top, and so you can be scrolling and not even realize what time it is. And that whole time, it's not looking at all of your photos and your texts. Meanwhile, winter storms are dumping rain and snow along the I-95 corridor, as AAA says. A record 119 million people will travel for Christmas this year. Big cities like Boston, Providence, and Philadelphia are being impacted.
This morning, nearly 1,700 flights have already been delayed.
Let's turn now to Chief Meteorologist Rick Reitfield with our Fox 4 forecast. Hey, Rick.
Good morning. You know what else happens?
What?
It became winter.
Oh, happy winter, everybody.
We are officially winter. The best part about this day is it means that the day starts to get longer from here on out. It's the only thing that is good about this. And this, take a look at this. So we had snow here this morning right here in New York City. And look at our all-American Christmas tree on Fox 4. That is absolutely beautiful. Snow stuck on the north side of the tree, not as much on the south side of the tree, but from the north. That stuck right there on the side of the tree. Beautiful sight here. Take a look at the maps. We're going to talk about white Christmas. Now, technically, the National Weather Service has a definition of white Christmas. It means you have an inch of snow on the ground on Christmas. And currently, 27% of the country has at least an inch of snow on the ground. This is where that is. You can see it is now extended across parts of the coastal areas on that I-95 corridor. I think we're going to see some of that melt pretty quickly, though. Overall, we've got a pattern here that's going to set up. It's going to bring a few more storms across the country this week. It's getting a little bit warmer. This is a storm we have in the northeast right now. Behind this, it is going to get really cold tonight. This is a wind chill forecast for tomorrow morning. Single digits down towards middle levels. It's going to be 5 here in solidly get it in place. But we have a bit warmer coming tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday. You see that orange on the map? But it's going to be above average temperatures, warmer air, moving in every month. So let's swing that white Christmas. Keep it on today's Christmas and enjoy.
Okay. Thank you so much. To get you started with this, the man convicted of murdering 2 teens in Delphi, Indiana, will spend 140 years behind bars. Richard Allen receiving the maximum sentence until yesterday after he was found guilty last month. According to prosecutors, Allen killed 14-year-old Lee German and 13-year-old Abby Williams in 2017, forcing the two off of a trail at gunpoint before dumping their bodies a quarter-mile away from where he encountered them. His attorneys say they plan to appeal the verdict. President Trump picking Catholic vote President Brian Birch for U.S. ambassador to the Holy See, saying he has demonstrated exceptional leadership and loves his church in the United States. He joined Fox this weekend right after the election.
President Trump spoke to the concerns of many workers and families that just want to return to normal. They don't want radical abortion. They don't want Catholic hospitals being shut down. And they want normal gas prices and normal grocery prices and normal border and normal girl sports where boys aren't hanging out in their
Inherit their abilities.
Birch says he is committed to working with leaders inside the Vatican and the new administration to promote the dignity of all people. And football, the Atlanta Falcons reportedly looking to cut quarterback Kirk Cousins after they signed him to a 4-year, $180 million deal. It comes after the team will bench him for rookie Michael Penix Jr. after Cousins threw a career-high 16 interceptions this season. The team reportedly looks to cut Cousins before March, when his $10 million roster bonus is set to kick in. And those are your headlines, guys.
I don't know how I feel about that because, he came to Washington early in his career and did pretty well, and now, I feel like he's getting thrown out to the curb.
Yeah, up to the curb. Oh, let me just say you might have $1 million.
They're going to be a party gift.
All right, so this is pretty fun. Here are the most popular Christmas songs according to each state.
Each of our home states.
Right, we have a map of them all. New Jersey is our shared home state. All I want for Christmas is you. Kirk, what about you in DC?
Was that Mariah Carey? Did you guys have that?
I know. Oh my God. We get mistaken for each other all the time.
We can talk about your pitch.
It's Christmas karaoke worthy. In DC, the Christmas song, Merry Christmas to You, is fantastic.
Which I didn't know what it was, but then Sonic said it's the one that starts with chocolates roasting on an open fire. Did you know that?
Let's save this here.
We like the Christmas song more than Christmas shoes. That's nobody's favorite.
Is that a song? Christmas shoe, yeah.
It's a real downer after show.
Here.
Arizona, that's where Rick's from. Last
No.
Christmas, that's the one. But Jingle Bells is the most popular overall. It's the favorite song of 14 states.
It is also the only one that we have a clip of.
Alright guys, we'll catch you next one, alright?
Okay, so this is the upbeat.
Wow, look how big that is. Good. It's gonna be a good one. Alright, peace out.